Okay, so let's just jump right in. If you're a network professional, this question is probably something you wrestle with all the time. How do you take all the moving parts of an application? The servers, the services, the security rules, and somehow manage them as one single coherent thing? It's a huge challenge in modern networking. And today, we're going to break down a really powerful way to solve it.
So we're diving into a core concept in Cisco's application-centric infrastructure, or ACI. And that concept is the application profile. Believe me, it's a powerful tool, and it's designed to bring a whole lot of order to the chaos of application management.
All right, here's our game plan. First up, we'll talk about the complexity problem we're all trying to solve. Then, we'll introduce the application profile and break down its key building blocks, endpoint groups, and contracts. And finally, we'll see how it all just clicks together to create a complete blueprint for your application.
So, you might be asking, why do we even need something like an application profile? Well, it really all comes down to taming the beast that is modern application complexity.
I mean, think about a classic 3-tier application, right? You've got your web, your app, and your database servers. Traditionally, managing this means you are wrestling with this massive sprawl of individual IP addresses, VLANs, and firewall rules. Every single change is risky, and securing it? Man, it feels like you're just patching 1,000 tiny holes in this fragile, super complicated web.
And this is exactly where ACI comes in and just changes the game. It shifts the entire focus away from those low-level network details and puts it right where it belongs, on the application itself. At the heart of this whole approach is the application profile. Put simply, it's a logical container. So instead of thinking about individual servers or IP addresses, you're grouping all the components that need to work together to make your application, well, work. The best way to think about it is like an architectural blueprint for your app. A building plan shows you every room, every plumbing line, every electrical circuit, right? Well, the application profile does the exact same thing. It maps out every tier of your application, and most importantly, it defines the rules for how they all get to interact with each other. Now, to build this blueprint, we need some fundamental building blocks. And the most important one is what we call the endpoint group, or EPG for short.
So what's an EPG? It's just a collection of things that do the same job and need the same security rules. So instead of trying to manage 10 different web servers individually, you just manage one logical group, the web tier. Any server, doesn't matter if it's physical, virtual, or even a container, if it serves web pages, it goes into this group and they all get treated exactly the same. Simple as that. Let's apply this to our good old 3-tier app. We've got our web functions, our application logic, and our database storage. In the ACI world, each one of these tiers becomes its very own distinct EPG. Take a look. The EPG web, for example, groups all of our web servers together. It literally doesn't matter if you have 2 servers or 200, or if they're VMs or bare metal. From a policy perspective, they are now one single manageable thing. And that same logic just extends right across a whole application. EPG APP holds all our application servers, and EPG DB has all the databases. In just 3 quick steps, we've taken that chaotic mess of connections and organized it into 3 clean, logical groups. Much better. Okay, so we've got our groups. But here's the catch. By default, they can't talk to each other at all. So how do we control that communication? Well, that's the job of our second key building block, contracts. A contract is, well, it's pretty much exactly what it sounds like. It's a set of rules that governs the relationship between 2 EPGs. It explicitly defines what traffic is allowed to flow between them. We're talking specific ports, specific protocols. This isn't some afterthought. This is policy-driven security that's baked right into the application's design from the very beginning. If we go back to our blueprint here, you can see these arrows between the EPGs. Those represent the contracts. We set up one contract to define how the web tier can talk to the app tier. Maybe that's only allowed on port 443. Then we use another one to control how the app tier can query the database tier. Everything is explicit, everything is controlled, and it's all based on a zero-trust model. So now, let's put all of these pieces together and take a look at the complete application blueprint. And there it is. The application profile is the master container that holds everything. The web EPG, the app EPG, the database EPG, and the contracts that bind them all together. The whole complex, multi-tiered application is now defined and managed as one single, logical, and secure object. So to wrap it up, it's a really simple but powerful 3-step process. Step 1, Group your similar servers and services into EPGs. Step 2, put those related EPGs inside an application profile. And step 3, use contracts to spell out exactly how they're allowed to talk to each other. So why does all this matter? Well, the benefits are huge. Logical grouping makes management way simpler. No more chasing down IP addresses. Consistent policy application means fewer manual errors and fewer security gaps. Security is now designed into the application, not just bolted on later. You can even apply specific quality of service or monitoring policies to the entire application at once, which gives you amazing performance and visibility from one single point of control. And this brings us to the final thought I want to leave you with. When you can stop managing hundreds of individual network components and start managing entire applications as single, policy-driven blueprints, you really fundamentally change what's possible. Think about the speed of deployment, the consistency of your security posture, and the incredible potential for automation. So the real question is, what new possibilities does this approach open up for your network?